You know, just when I thought Nico Harrison took the cake for being the dumbest GM in Texas, of course you gotta have Jerry Jones come back in the news headlines to fucking one-up him. I kid you not, this dude loves attention. So you have the man older than death himself say, hold my beer, watch this. Of course, you cannot have contract negotiations without a little drama, according to Jerry Jones, and now Micah Parsons has requested a trade. And it's not like this son of a bitch doesn't have the money. We know this shithead is loaded with money. I mean, look at him pay everybody else, but the ones that deserve it. The second a generational talent goes, hey, let me get a piece of that pie, Jones turns into a full-fledged fucking cheatskate and says, you don't deserve a thing. Like, he didn't just pay a quarterback who has erectile dysfunction when it comes to the playoffs. When he encounters playoff football or even sniffs the air of big games, he turns into a bitch. And Jerry Jones thought that was worth $60 million, but Parsons is not worth an absolute dime. I mean, this senile old shitbag really cannot be serious with his thoughts. I know back in the day he played football when the helmets looked like nacho bowls, so I mean, that makes sense. But even then, I cannot still bear to see how this is such a difficult choice for someone with this much money and for a player with this much talent. Like, someone has to accidentally trip him down the stairs or accidentally throw him in front of a moving bus, because that's probably the only chance y'all haven't seen progress. It's gonna be great news for the team and probably about one of the only few deaths you'll be seeing backflips for. Like, I'm just saying, he goes, they win a championship immediately. You gotta give God the MVP for assist of the year. Like, please, and I mean please, somebody force him to sell this team. Somebody force him to sell it to someone who runs it like they genuinely care to win and not run it like it's just strictly a business. Like, I give him his credit as an owner. I'm going to say he did a good job. Some people don't want to give him credit. I'll say he did a good job at turning this franchise around, and seeing how much they're worth now, he did a damn good job. But as a GM, you really have to be shitting me with some of the decisions he makes. Good owner, but absolute fucking horrible GM. I guarantee you, if this was anywhere else with this type of resume he has under his belt as GM, fired. Nobody keeps him, but of course this team does. And let me just say, I ain't a Cowboys fan, but I have friends who are, and of course I see it fucking everywhere, and it's genuinely depressing. I have to sit and listen to their rants and a lot of people's other rants and just realize how stupid this motherfucker actually is. And it's crazy too, because it's like, it must be some weird kink to really get off of having power and control over something like this. Like, whenever his name pops up my alerts or some news by the Cowboys, it's never anything good. It's always something stupid and it's always nonsense with this brain dead vegetable. And I don't even care if the deal gets done. I mean, we've seen it before with Jones. I mean, he paid Dak the day of the season opener. Like, I'm just saying, he has such a horrible way of going about it, and it makes him look like an immediate attention-seeking whore by allowing it to be this manipulative tactic instead of a simple negotiation, which Parsons has been trying to get for a while now. But now it's like, okay, now we're just going to extend it out. Like, I would hate to be any player with even an ounce of talent on this team when your owner is Mr. Krabs, essentially. Like, Jerry Jones is the only billionaire I know who I would believe bends over for any penny he finds on the ground with how cheap he is. And the worst part is, when he goes, his goofy ass son is gonna take over. It's not gonna get any better. It's like waking up from one nightmare to just another. It's like the scene in Megamind where he's like, Titan has freed us. I want to say freed, but under new management. That's basically going from Jerry Jones to Steven Jones. It's going from one idiot to another. Like, it doesn't get any worse than that. Any player who looks to be a superstar has risk of being traded within his own contract because he's too much to even re-sign. So now back to Micah Parsons here. I mean, when all of your players, and I mean all of your players, are standing for Parsons getting the bag, it's clear this is a stupid ground to really be standing on as far as Jerry Jones. I mean, a player whose name is up there with greats like Derek Thomas and Reggie White for being the only players with double-digit sacks all 4 years he's played. And that's just one of his accomplishments. There's so many more. I just chose to read that one. I mean, I really shouldn't have to explain to you how good of a player Parsons is if you even watch the game itself. It's no debate, he's the tone setter of their defense like the battery to a kid's toy. Without Parsons, the energy is not there. Since 2023, he has led the league with 126 pressures and a 31% pass rush win rate. And even with a league-high 31% double team rate last year, he still generated 19% pressure rate. Why is this an argument? Like, he is and always has been the backbone of this defense since arriving. Entirely a one-to-one copy. You don't find players that match his motor or his explosive, violent playstyle. You do not find this. And you sure as hell won't replace it anytime soon. You dare let this man sit out or trade him away. Everything I said really should be enough just to tell you he's worth resetting the market, or at least matching him up there with guys like TJ or even Garrett, who he himself even had to argue for his contract. But with Parsons, I feel it's a little more different. Now it's a little more personal, and I know teams will be bending over backwards the last week for the chance to even have him on their side. God forbid he actually leaves and goes to Philadelphia. The league is fucked. And I know they're happy seeing this. I mean, every team in the league is happy watching this meltdown. It's like watching your rival's biggest enemy being your own owner. Like, you can't even call it much of a rivalry when Jerry Jones whooped his own team's ass like it's an inside job. It's the same thing with Trey Hendrickson. Why should there be an argument here about how much he should get paid or if he's even worth the expense? Hand him a blank check and say, fill it out to whatever you need. It's just very unfortunate Jerry Jones and his son share the IQ of a walnut with some shit you wouldn't even see fly in other organizations. And it's really insulting that the truth is, until he passes on to the next life, this team is going to continue to be nothing serious. He's just somehow still living and breathing example of money doesn't make you a smart person, but what you have around you makes you that money. Good owner, but dog shit GM who runs this team like the joke he knows it is. All I can say is I am so sorry for all the genuine Cowboys fans who actually put up with this clown, because if it was me, I would have walked ages ago. But this really has to be the final straw for most. I mean, a franchise player being waved around like a toy and being edged with talks of not being given what he deserves. Jerry Jones, you're one sick bastard, whether he intentionally is dragging this or not. He's a man who gives no fucks for his players and will do what he wants regardless of what anybody has to say. And there truly is no hope here until something is done. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for this rant. I really just had to. Like, I can't stand seeing a player like Micah Parsons, who I might not like the Cowboys, but damn it, I like Micah Parsons, and it sucks seeing a player of his talent not being given what he deserves. It's like Trey Hendrickson or when even Myles Garrett was having his negotiations. It's like these top-end players deserve the money they play for, and the fact that their owners don't want to give them it because they claim it's not worth it, it's just an absolute idiotic take. And of course, it just so happens he plays for the Cowboys. I'm just saying, any other team would have already paid Micah. This organization is a joke, and they really will never be anything serious until Jones is gone. Like, you could blame a lot of players, but I'm really just going to blame the ownership at hand. Anyways, that would do it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you on the next Random Recap.